Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. And today we have to talk about Battlegrounds and Radiance. And the fact that Kabam bringing Radiance to MCOC is worse than the crack epidemic of 1980s. Because people are going mental in Battlegrounds right now. And the cutoffs are rising by an hour. Noticeable. Earlier today, when I finished my hopefully final Battleground stream, I was in spot 37. It's like what, 8 hours ago, 10 hours ago now. I was in spot 37, so I have dropped 20 plus, 26 spots in like half a day, and the cutoff has increased quite significantly. And the same goes just about everywhere. I think we are seeing the highest numbers of participation and therefore points in Battlegrounds just about ever. Look at the C6 cutoff. That's 540. I don't recall it ever being that high. Additionally, one point that I did want to make is that Uru 6 is full. And Uru 6 starts effectively at players 48k and below. And there are thousands of people in Uru 6 already. So that means safely we can assume at the bare minimum there are well over 50,000 players in Gladiator Circuit. That actually comes with a cool caveat because if I'm not mistaken, 12,000 Radiance in itself, that gives you it gives you 2 tier 4 alphas, man. So now you can get effectively 2 tier 4 alphas just for making it to the Gladiator Circuit, which is quite huge still in today's game. And so even Uru 6, I think, that's borderline meaningful rewards. But one thing is clear. There are thousands upon thousands of summoners fighting for as much Radiance as possible right now. And that definitely opens kind of a very important discussion, in my opinion, because number one, much has been made of calling Battlegrounds like a niche game mode. However, I do think that doesn't necessarily hold the water. At the very least, I'm fully well aware that this game has well over 50,000 players, but I do think that vast majority that are borderline, active are at the moment doing their best in the Gladiator Circuit and are definitely motivated and invested in it for now. It is absolutely clear that Battleground streams are more popular. There are way more people streaming Battlegrounds, way more people watching Battlegrounds streams, learning and trying. So one thing's for sure, this whole Radiance business and the rewards revamp so far has been like a massive success for Kabam. I do think, however, obviously there are still absolute blind spots when it comes to Battlegrounds. Like, they did alter the Alliance event scoring system, but they have not touched Battlegrounds Alliance event at all. Therefore, nobody's really, at least in our alliance, using much Elder's Marks or trying to push the scores here, because here, finishing first spot, you don't even get 2 tier 4 alphas. You get 2 tier 4 alphas for just making it into the Gladiator Circuit, if that's what you choose to spend your Radiance on. So the rewards here are comically, critically, absolutely, abysmally outdated, obviously. And that's like a major point, I think, that still needs to be addressed, as well as there has been much discussion about the Radiance tiering. How, for instance, C5 to C6 is like entire 50k difference versus C4 there's only like 25k difference. Considering how much more difficult it is to get in C4 compared to C5, I think that's, a point to discuss. As well as obviously the one that everybody is pointing out here is Mysterium 3 to Quantum 1 is even bigger leap. That's like 56k difference, which is, over half of what Quantum 1 gets. So if you do squeeze in the Mysterium 3, there's like over a 50% increase, which is, you know, brutal, and which is nowhere else. It's about anywhere here. So I do think some of the things could be done a bit better. I do think some of the things need to be fine-tuned and still kind of brought up to speed. But I think it's fairly safe to say that the Battlegrounds are back. Battlegrounds are, in fact, getting quite a lot of love from community right now, and god damn, from personal side, I can definitely tell you guys that this is stressful. This is nerve-wracking. I was trying my hardest to kind of like push a bit more than I thought I would have to feel safe and not to have to play again, especially on the last day when anything can happen. And every time I opened the leaderboard, you know, I was just like, eee. So we'll see what happens then. We might have to have another Battleground stream, and we might climb out of, well, tilt out of C5, which I would not want to do, especially considering how much Radiance is at stake. Obviously, the C1 Bero at 900 points is absolutely crazy, as well as worst in the business with 870, and Stonehenge, who is an absolute beast as well, 846. Man, these guys are going at it. And with the improved rewards, I felt it as though for myself as well, the Battlegrounds became significantly more serious. I was trying harder this season to kind of get back into the things. I was streaming for longer. I was more engaged with the game mode. You know, the losing matters more, and it's more tense. And it's the type of thing that I personally enjoy and like, especially because I do want to push for the higher end rewards. And this kind of like made me want to play better, like really want to play better. And, you know, because of this Battleground season, I grinded out for 6-star Yelena, which, you know, a month or 2 or 3 ago, I would have 100% just passed on and waited for when she's in Titan Crystal, and eventually gotten her, and, you know, I'll be fine with that. But now I actually went ahead and did grind an arena to do better in Battlegrounds. And then obviously learned several new tricks and matchups, and watched more people's Battleground streams to learn how they do things better. And this certainly, in my opinion, kind of marks the change for the game mode and the game as well. Because let's face it, from the top-end community standpoint, this game would have very little to offer right now, barring Battlegrounds. And it's kind of hard to imagine how this game existed as long as it did without Battlegrounds. And it was such a shame that the game mode felt like so full with potential, but Kabam just completely abandoned it up until now, obviously. And now, again, it feels competitive, it feels tense, it feels that there are significant things that you are fighting for. Because, again, if you're going to jump in the Radiant store, then, you know, that's the best store in the game. So that's the best reward. If you finish in C5, you can get 2 tier 7 basics, like flat out. Or in my case, I'd probably buy like 1.5 or 1 and a bit, and you know, some tier 4 alphas and something else. We'll see what happens there, but that's like massive. And then when Radiant's going to be in, you know, the rest of the game modes, obviously there's going to be more opportunities to spend your Radiance on other things. For now, I am personally focused on the rank up materials. And I'll very much so look forward to, regardless of how my season ends, getting my next rank 4 because of the Battlegrounds, because of the Radiance. So I know we have our issues in the game. I know that, you know, content-wise, this month has been relatively quiet. It started off well, obviously, with the Valiant EQ and everything else, but nothing kind of like extra came of it. And at the same time, though, Battlegrounds are definitely having a massive resurgence thanks to the Radiance and the adjusted rewards. And I think the numbers are undeniable. I would love to hear from Kabam that kind of like introspection of how many more players participated, how many more matches were played. I always love hearing from Kabam whenever they, you know, give us interesting tidbits of detail, like which are the most drafted champions, which are the most banned champions, and stuff like that. But either way, I wanted to hear your thoughts and opinions about your relationship with Battlegrounds this season. And are you going to be carrying on to push as hard as you can? Or what is your plan about it? There, that is it for now, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next